Joblessness in the Philippines registered at 4.1% in April, considered the worst in 3 months. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the latest unemployment rate went up from 3.9% in March. The unemployment rate was at 3.8% in February and 4.3% in January. The PSA reports that there were 2.06 million unemployed Filipinos in April. This figure is more than the 1.93 million jobless Filipinos recorded in March. PSA data also shows that 7.09 million employed Filipinos looked for additional jobs or working hours in April to augment their income. This is an increase from the 6.44 million Filipinos who were considered underemployed in March. Underemployment is typically used as an indication of job quality. A higher number means more people have to look for additional work because their present job doesn't provide enough security and pay. The reciprocal access agreement between the Philippines and Japan was approved by the House of Councillors of Japan. The reciprocal access agreement is a pact that will serve as the legal basis for both countries' troops entering each other's territory for joint military exercises. It is considered a historic defense pact aiming to boost both countries' military cooperation. Philippine Ambassador to Japan, Mylene Garcia Albano, welcomes this approval on Friday, June 6. She says this development completes the approval process in the Japanese Diet. The House of Councillors is one of the two houses in the National Diet, which is the legislative body of Japan. Garcia Albano says the Defense Pact is a testament to the enduring friendship between the Philippines and Japan. She adds it will enhance the two countries' cooperation in promoting a rules-based order governed by international law. She thanks the government of Japan for the continued support and collaboration. The Reciprocal Access Agreement specifically outlines the provisions on entry and departure, movement, access to facilities, and professional practice of the visiting force and civilian component for cooperative activities. A member of the House of Representatives prosecution team makes it clear that they will present the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte, regardless of the recent developments in the Senate. In an interview on Friday, June 6, San Juan Lone District Representative Isabel Zamora says the House prosecution team is not affected by comments from the senators. Zamora says the prosecutors continue to do their duty as stated in the Constitution. The lawmaker confirms Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervil Luistro was tasked to read the articles before the Senate plenary. According to Zamora, Luistro has been practicing in anticipation of the scheduled June 11 presentation. Zamora also says they have not imagined a scenario where the Senate will not convene as an impeachment court. Citing the Constitution, Zamora says the senators have no other recourse but to convene. Concerns that a Senate trial on Duterte's impeachment might not push through arose after draft Senate resolutions to dismiss the impeachment case were floated. Senator Bato de la Rosa initiated a draft resolution arguing that the current Congress doesn't have enough time to deliberate the articles of impeachment. However, several lawyers like Zamora point to Article 11, Section 3 of the 1987 Constitution, which lays down the rules on impeachment. The provision states that the Senate has the sole power to try and decide all cases of impeachment. Several legal luminaries believe this to be an indication that trial must start before the Senate even decides to dismiss an impeachment case. The same section states that a Senate trial shall forthwith proceed if the verified impeachment complaint is filed and signed by 1/3 of all House members. More than 200 members signed the impeachment complaint against Duterte on February 5, allowing for its immediate transmissal to the Senate. Sen Win Gachalian reminds his colleagues in the Senate that proceeding with the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte is not a matter of choice. In a radio interview on Friday, June 6, Gatchalian emphasizes that it is not up to the Senate to decide whether to proceed with the trial or not. 4 months have passed since the House of Representatives transmitted the articles of impeachment against Duterte to the Senate on February 5. Once transmitted to the upper chamber, Gatchalian says the Senate has no other choice but to proceed with impeachment proceedings. According to Gatchalian, after the Senate convenes as an impeachment court, the trial will continue until a decision is reached. He acknowledges that the trial could not be finished within the month or before the 19th Congress ends on June 30, but Gatchalian believes the Senate impeachment court can cross over to the next Congress. Senator Bato de la Rosa earlier initiated a draft resolution seeking to declare the de facto dismissal of the impeachment case against the Vice President. The resolution cited the supposed inability of the Senate to immediately act on the case after the articles of impeachment were transmitted. Senate President Cheese Escudero originally set the presentation of the articles of impeachment for June 2. He later moved it to June 11, the last day of session before the 19th Congress adjourned sine die on June 13. The Senate can only convene as an impeachment court after the reading of charges against the Vice President. The National Board of Canvassers proclaimed the Bagong Henerasyon party list as one of the winners in the 2025 midterm elections following the dismissal of the petition seeking to disqualify the group. A certificate of proclamation shared with media on Friday, June 6 states that BH party list obtained the required percentage of votes under the party list system of representation. This entitles its qualified nominee, Roberto Gerard Nazal Jr., to sit as a member of the House of Representatives. In accordance with the Constitution, Nazal will serve a term of 3 years ending on June 30, 2028. The chairman and commissioners of the Commission on Elections signed the Certificate of Proclamation dated June 5. In a resolution released on May 30, the Comelec en banc denied the motion for reconsideration for the petition seeking to disqualify the BH party list and its nominees in the 2025 midterm elections. According to the Comelec, the motion was denied due to lack of merit. It said that the petitioner failed to comply with the mandatory service requirements under the applicable rules. The Comelec said a thorough reconsideration of the arguments and the records showed that the motion failed to establish either of the recognized grounds for reconsideration. The disqualification case was filed against the party list due to allegations of abuse of state resources.